Hello and welcome to my channel, and if you have already been to my channel, then welcome back. My name is Kalina and I'm an expert in public relations and mass communications, and in this video I'm going to talk about emotions and how to master your emotions in order to create your reality. Your reality is what you attract, what you accept, and what you exude. All of this matters for creating and living within the right environment for you. And emotions are a very strong part of it because it's exactly emotions that are determining your whole state of being. You're literally experiencing life through emotions. And people are telling you that you should not follow your emotions and they can derail you. And in some situations, yes, they can, but this is exactly when you don't understand them and when you don't master them. So, what can emotions do for you? Well, first of all, you can actually master your emotions so that your default emotional state is positive. And a lot of people are calling this high vibration because you're literally raising your vibrational state when you are within good emotional state. So you can do that. However, of course, there are different events that you're going through, and those events are creating emotions within you. And actually, this is how you process the event as experience by your emotions, because the event is pretty much what you make it mean about you. So, of course, there is facts and there is actual reality, but then in order for you to experience this reality, you experience it through your emotions. And what is happening is that if your emotions are derailed and they're not regulated and your overall emotional state is not calm, then what is happening is you cannot accurately process the environment. So what is happening is that sometimes your experience can be different than the actual facts and the actual events that are happening. Or you can be confused or something like that. So in order for this to happen, you must master your emotions, because there is situations in which it's exactly your emotion that will show you what is the situation all about, that will show you that there is something to pay attention to. For example, the emotion of fear. Let's say you have anxiety, because I have dealt with anxiety. Now, you have anxiety, and my default state when I was dealing with anxiety was fearful almost all the time. So, I couldn't have that fear as something that is going to show me that there is something that I actually need to fear from, right? Because when you master your emotions, in my situation, I dealt with my fear. What happened is that now, when that fear occurs, I think about what this fear is caused by. So I can look at the event and assess if that is something that I truly should fear from, if this is something that I truly should probably walk away from. And very often it is not direct fear. It is not like there is something that is direct danger that actually I need to fear from. Sometimes the fear is just something that tells me what to pay attention to and gives me alerts about if that's my place or not. So, how can you actually maintain your overall emotional state as calm? Well, the way that you can remain your overall emotional state as calm is by processing your emotions in private and figuring out what they're all about, what they mean. And another thing, you should watch out about showing your emotions and who you show your emotions in front of. That is also very important because emotions are actually something private, they're something personal. So it is not bad to have emotions. It is not bad, it doesn't say anything wrong about you that you have sometimes emotions that are unpleasant or that are negative and that you need to process. However, there are people that definitely could take advantage of your emotional state because they want to manipulate you, or there are people that maybe you will impact their emotions. Let's say you will trigger them. Let's say they're in a process of emotion right now that they need to handle. They want to regulate their own overall state, and now you suddenly show or communicate to them certain emotion that dysregulates them because you impact them. And this was something that would happen to me very often when I was dealing with my anxiety. For example, I would be calming myself down and I would have kind of like improvements. I would have some kind of like progress in the way that I process something that I would usually get anxious about, but because I will want to deal with that anxiety, I will calm myself down, and then somebody would say something like, "Oh, I don't understand how you can be so calm," or if I was on your place, I would be so anxious about this thing. And then that would trigger my anxiety, which is the thing that I would want to deal with in the first place. So if you express your emotions, that is not always a good idea because this is still something that you communicate and you're not sure how you are impacting the person that is right in front of you and that is dealing with their own emotional state. So again, it is not like you should never ever express your emotions, because you should, but it's not something that you should express everywhere at any time that you want, because this is something that is private. Emotions are still something private, and of course we are humans, and of course you will react emotionally sometimes, but what I'm talking about is the emotional instability, because there is different than being calm and being regulated within your emotions and responding to different situations. Of course, you're a human being, you will show emotions sometimes. It is a whole different thing to over exaggerate everything or to respond with emotional state that is not really accurate or adequate to the situation. So the last thing that I want to say is that very often people that are unable to regulate their emotional state become numb. And this is not really good because emotions are still there for a reason, and you're not going to be able to use them appropriately, like the right emotional response for the right situation, right? Because you will still exist within the world, and a big part of experiencing the world, the major part of experiencing the world is through your emotions. So if you're numb because you just cannot handle your emotional state, because your emotions are always over exaggerated, then what is going to happen is you want to hold back so much that now you can't even experience the world as you should, because you're a human being. So this is what I had for today's video. Please let me know in the comments what do you think about emotions. How do you process your emotions? Do you have a way to regulate them? Have you been on therapy? Because I have for my anxiety. Also, I will leave a link below to my website so that you can see who I am and what I'm doing. And I will also leave my Facebook page so that you can follow me on Facebook. Also, you can like and share this video, and you can subscribe for my channel if you like my content. Thank you very much and have a great day.